Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and bring out your first team. It's Team اسبانيا.
عادية المشيات. اي واحد يمشي زي كذا طبيعي. اي واحد يمشي زي كذا. هيا شوف كيف يمشي. شوف كورد، هذه مشية انسان طبيعي، هذا مشية اسد. شوف يوبي. شوف واضح من المشي انهم لعيبة 500. سبحان الله. جاهزين في اللوبي، خلاص بيبدون.
Hey, Lemon Kiwi, you talked about Helv's Reinhardt. What a throwback pick. He's going to be coming out with the big hammer man.
And he's right to the point. The Symmetra
تيم رجع يغير. كورد فرح تكفى. فرح ميرسي. لا بيلعب كوين بس. اوكي.
That's rock paper scissors right there in terms of that tank roll. You see the
جاهزين راح تجيب بوينت رجع يغير.
That's really a way to be able to make it bleed.
Oh, and KSA just teleport right to the point. They have Spain's backs against the wall, and it's the speed of KSA that may allow them to overwhelm.
يا عمري التغيير، جاهزين لأي شيء. تروح براين، روح كوين، جاهزين. ما كملوا الفايت.
Immortality pop by Surmagen that buys them time to assess where Spain is, and Help doesn't have enough support, and KSA take the first fight.
What's tough about that too is that Spain just got locked at the back of that objective, and the more time that they sat there, the more ability KSA had to be able to poke away at this composition. We're gonna need to see a reset there from Bones, but KSA's already at their spawn.
تيم جاهز. متدربين الحمد لله.
إن شاء الله نشوت كذا. KSA lost some members, especially KSA himself.
ما يهم مع البوينت.
You know, you don't have a shield, and it's not going to look good just jumping into that damage.
No, it's not. And so
أحس نعطيهم البوينت.
walk all the way back.
يب عطهم البوينت. نايس.
set up this teleporter, but not before Spain is able to plant themselves on this point. They take back control from KSA, and they're going to be able to keep up that pressure.
ما أدري سماته مسوي تي في. واضح كان بيكسر التي في هو. بس شاله بغلط. ما أمسك معك الفايت. سوى فيك تي في أخذنا.
Spain are letting KSA walk to the point so that they can teleport on the other side, and the blizzard from Spain is thrown right in the middle, and KSA trying to defend themselves with the photon barrier, but it's matched by Punk. But knife to knife, KSA comes out on top.
This is our team. هذا هو تيمنا.
The Junker Queen ultimate online, so being able to rampage through the rest of Spain shuts off this enormous amount of healing that Canale and Gala are able to put up in the back line. If you're going to shut that off, it makes it even more difficult for Spain to be self-sufficient. And Reinhardt, even though he's got this big shield, he's got that big bulk, doesn't always have the ability to stand up to the front line of KSA, especially when you got that Bastion in the back line. Might need that extra support there from those
مشكلة الشاتر الصوت.
KSA are gonna need support when this shatter goes down, but Help is pitting back. He took too much damage early, but Gala's down there saves them. KSA went in for the kill, and the shatter was only to slow them down. The rampage of KSA denies the healing that Spain needed to get back on their feet, and it's 94% plus, by the way. KSA barely gave up this point, and Spain really won't have much to say about it. The Ant Matrix isn't at the best of angle. KSA and Quartz manages to dodge a lot of that damage, but they don't have a lot of space to operate. So Spain.
نايس يوبي. وين هو بالشارج. بكت يوبي والله يكري. بالشارج. يلا يوبي. يلا عوق.
Though, just trying to stall out the point as much as possible, recognizes that he's going to have to give it up a little bit in order for the rest of KSA to come back with reinforcements, but not before Spain is able to take back control, and that is going to buy them plenty of time to get the rest of their team back into this fight, especially knowing how important it is for Punk to be there on this Bastion. You have the artillery strike online. It helps to delay the inevitable here for KSA as they start to make their push back onto this point.
Quartz on the Bastion, making sure to shred that shield of hell. Who's gonna back out? Photon barrier from KSA to defend themselves. So it's a smooth.
يا ابوي بتات ذول. عطهم يا شيخ عطهم ايه. كوارز ويندو حبيبي والله ما تبيك. مسوي. احسبهم لاعب سكار راندوم. فيك تموت. شل كيف يكون كذا؟ والله صدق هذه مشكلة المنتخبات اللي تعودت يلعبون نص فاشلين. هذه مشكلتهم.
KSA 2, you can tell that they go in because they're confident that they're going to get enough healing from Haku and Sturmajet in the back line. Spain though too, so why Help is going to be coming out on this Reinhardt is that he also has to put a lot of trust into his team to help play coordinated around this point. So Spain, they get a chance to get control of this objective first. As KSA go all the way back to spawn, they were able to use that symmetric teleporter to help KSA make that switch over to the Junker Queen.
Yeah, they just need the extra engage power that the Junker Queen provides, and you can tell that they're thinking about juking Spain out with the teleporter, but what a read from Hell. But he needs support, and Punk is there. He's got the double kill before Quartz was able to shut him down, so it's a one-man advantage. Hell doesn't have a shield, but he has fire in his heart.
شوف البوينت هذه كويس الراين صراحة.
Something else that's a really important note about how storied and historied Helvis as a Reinhardt player is that European contenders as a region has had a rich history of just building up some of the best Reinhardts in the entire world. So Helvis tested in this main tank position, just having to lead the charge in so many of these fights. And you can see how this history as a leader has been so important.
يعني لاعب محترف كنا منيكو ذاك قلب الكيبورد.
From KSA to get on either side. Spain are so aware of these pushes that they shut them down every time.
They're becoming more they're just getting ahead of the teleporter. I think that's really what the biggest difference maker is here for Spain, is that they're able to predict it just a little bit better, and then that's where you can see Helm just making up the difference with the fire strikes and those pushes.
I like the teleporter from KSA. It was trying to take shelter and no go, and Helm shatters them down. He has a photon barrier bones to protect him, and KSA, their shelter is gone.
صرخوا شايفين يصرخ الكلاب. لا أم الكره يا أخي.
Last fight territory on the board for Spain to be able to match this progress and go ahead and take us to a
ما صعب يا جماعة والله قلتكم.
KSA, they have a lot of ultimates though, 4 to spare. See if they can make the most of them in this fight.
Spain thought that KSA were going to TP through the window, so Spain gave up a lot of space. And here's KSA with the sound barrier, the rampage right through. Spain are surrounded. Hell does his best to protect the team with the shield, but KSA is setting up camp in the back line, and Punk needs some help. He's got the support.
والله وين بيسكس يا عمري كسي. وش صار؟ هاي عندي ولا كل الناس؟ الو اكيد مباراتنا راح يقطع اكيد. الو ايش السالفه؟ يوتيوب شغال اكيد على نقطة كيسي. اشتغل. اخذكم يا شيخين مباراة قبل ما اقطع اكيد.
Such a good ultimate to defend with, and KSA are going to respect that space. They're going to stay hidden, see if they can get the jump on the Helm, who has to deal with these symmetric turrets first. Helm doesn't have armor or a shield, and the photon barrier from KSA allows them to approach Spain and simply dismantle them one by one.
Nice.
He lasers them to death, and Quartz unleashes. Spain will have to reset.
As you said, a fantastic photon barrier response to that amplification matrix where it shuts out all that damage output that Punk was providing on the Bastion. Despite that they had the ability to make these really quick rotations, Spain just couldn't get past that giant wall. They get a chance to teleport to point, but KSA are starting to get ults back online.
KSA off of the amp matrix, managed to push Spain off of the point, but what was that Gala that got separated away and thankfully didn't get picked? There is the artillery strike.
Nice, Haku! What? Nice.
Off the point.
عمري طيع الفن.
That KSA had there and its final fight.
مع فيت خلاص هاكو.
Canal is actually going to get back to spawn as a quick reset for himself so that he can get back in.
ما راح يجين بوب لأن هاكو ميت.
Team
جنب اليمين.
Gala might be able to get the sound barrier online, but Quartz is hoping to keep them at bay with the artillery strike.
Nice. يا هاكو بالبيت. خلاص راحت. يلا صرخ من بكرة يا كلاب.
KSA write them like a book, and they take map number 1.
والله تغيير جنك كوين يبين لك ان التيم جاهز. الناس يعانون ضد سق كيسي لا ما يكمل سق من الاساس يروح يغير. ليت بعض الناس يتعلمون. اقسم بالله ليت بريطانيا تتعلم. خلاص ضدك شيء كونترك ارجع غير يا اخي. جيف اواي ولا ما في وقت؟ اللي بعد الجيم اوكي 3 دقائق يمدينا بسرعه جائزه واحده. يلا 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 لانه والله كثير يا جماعه. الكلمه راح تكون KSAA حتكون جائزه ال 1800 نقطة اوفرواتش ليج يعني 12 سكن. يلا 1 2 3 يزيد موجود. خلاص يا جماعة لا يسبب فاز يزيد خلاص. طيب يا جماعة الخير قبل ما تبدا المباراة مين حقكم فريق الديفند بيكون الجيم اسهل له؟ ما ادري مين الديفند بس فريق الديفند بيكون اسهل له. الاتاك صعب سواء السعودية عانت او ما عانت. مين حقكم لاني ما ادري والله.
The Ash is really cool. It's a great angle for dynamites to on us. What's peculiar to me, the best nano target being Helve, I guess, for the extra sustain. And also sort of a mini win condition to throw that anti-grenade down when you have the high ground. It's great to use that, but KSA have teleported behind them. Now Spain just have to win those stay on this high ground, but they also have to contest. Helve is doing its best, and with a Mei, it'll be easier for Helve to approach when you can cycle that Mei wall. And, well, speaking of that Mei wall, they've isolated KSA, but he still has a shield to protect himself. And somehow KSA's supports are in trouble, and KSA didn't have a shield to protect himself. So Spain manages to live through that.
Sirvajetta is going to take Punk down with him, as UB's also going to try to make his way back to the point, but this is going to be a first defensive hold for Spain. And you can see how the Alaris both come into play for a map like this. Those healing pylons allow you to have so much more sustain on the point, especially when it comes
إذا عدينا المشاهدات بفرق كبير مرة ارسلوا لي يا جماعة صور. أنا والله مشغول مع الجيم مركز مرة.
Gala's gonna have to be careful. That was close.
That was so close. Course has been my hit scan to watch at World Cup with what he did to Sugar Free against Team USA. But KSA, they teleported on Spain's backline, and Canale couldn't get away, and that's where the Baptiste would buy you a bit more time with the immortality. The Ana's kind of a sitting duck. It doesn't do it dive well. KSA will be getting the second tick and no chance for a recontest. So full cap.
Full capture coming through, and there's a lot of ultimates now online for KSA too. Look, talk about the pop-off potential that Quartz has had as a player. That overclock is ready. That's going to be a great engagement tool when it comes down to the streets phase of Paraíso. Because you're looking at some of these buildings, even if your overclock isn't going to necessarily click on heads, it still forces Spain to get into this position where you might just be taken down by something else. Maybe even Captive Sun from Sirvajetta, because that's also online.
That's a fully charged headshot right onto Helve, and surprised he's still alive. Punk on the soldier, he can jump from building to building, but in terms of getting back up there, not as easy compared to maybe a Sojourn or an Ash, but the Captive Sun versus Captive Sun. Sirvajetta doesn't look the sun in the eye, and he falls. KSA have been removed by force.
يا جماعة والله العظيم اني ما اهتم البث متأخر او لا. خلوني اتابع. ما حد مهتم. عادي لو بث متأخر وش يصير يعني طارت الدنيا. كلها متأخر 10 ثواني يمكن. شكرا اللي مسوي سبسكرايب ثانك يو. لا معصب لنا ماجد انطق قهرت. حرام ليلتي ضاع. ما بضاحك والله يضغط الماب.
KSA on the card. Photon Bears to split it up, but Helve has been nanoed. He's stomping his way to the back line, and even has a Terra Surge on the menu. And KSA don't want to taste, but Corpse is on the high ground. He's trying to land shots onto Canale, who manages to get around the corner. And KSA are making steady progress. Helve is too low, and that's the last
نايس والله نايس.
And there's just no stopping.
قاعدين نوصلها يقلم القوة.
Oh no, you also see that like Gala
فايت واحد فزنا. فايتين وصلنا مرتين. غلا يا غلا ارجع يا غلا. وش مودك سبون؟ يا غلا ارجعي. وش جالس تسوي؟ يا غلا موتي قاعد تسوين ستايجر.
I think KSA want to take this fight as quickly as possible, and Quartz has already marked Gala, so he's just stuck back here. won't be really involved. Meanwhile, KSA have pushed forward, but
كابراين
kind of disorganized between worrying about this threat behind them.
ضيع
KSA
الفرن.
are down for the count, and with Punk's tactical visor, KSA give up this choke, and they'll have to reset.
شال اثنين يعم القهر. طيب يعم القهر فاز علينا غلا والله فاز علينا. الله غالس فعلتها. يلا يا غالة يلا يا حبيبي ارجع خلاص فليتها يا عم. سلكت معك مرة يا جماعة. اتمنى التيم كله يسوي له تشيس. تكفون روحونا اسحب عليه بشو مرة بشو. نايس شيلوا بنك. نايس يلا غلا خليك ورا. هاي لنفسك ها. يقولون غلا الحين يسوي فلانك. اشغلنا الله يشغلها يا رب. يا جماعة واحد يروح يشيلها ذي. الله يشغلها. خلاص يا عم لا تسوي فلانك تكفى. راح يسوي فلانك. والله يشغلنا كواز ما يمدي ياخذ راحته.
So good. That's why we're like paying attention to him and on the Alari as well, and be able to see that duel happen too with Sermajed also staying in the mix here. But it's teleporter time.
KSA just keeps surprising Spain by landing right on top of their supports and
الناس قبل اختراع السماعات. يا بنك وراك حبيبي وراك يا.
Found themselves between a rock and a hard place, and now Spain just don't have a route to escape when KSA have locked that down. Less than 2 minutes, and KSA head for the end of C.
Spain have a much better anchor position from this point, though. They've got the spawns to their back. They have all this architecture to play around to keep them safe, and they've done such a great job of splitting up their forces so that they can operate a little bit more independently. So Hell is going to have to try to lock down this card as UB wants to use his photon barrier.
Gotta be careful with these UV teleports, but Spain want to take a fight early before KSA have a plan, and the blizzard from Bones thrown right in KSA's face, and UV, the photon barrier might have saved his backline, but Spain just bulldozing Star.
ونبل فازوا. لا اعطى سليب. لا نبدا ما عنده.
Buys time, lights it up for Gala, heals Canal. That is a selfless support and a good defense from Spain.
جماعة والله قلت لكم قبل صحيح اني اكره غلا كره. والله اني اكرهه مرة بس والله انه كويس. بس عوافي الحالة ما يدري شيء. بيدعسونهم.
Final stop to the push. KSA have one more chance. 40 seconds remaining. The amplification matrix on the docket to be able to help push Spain back.
Good Maywall from Bones just to give yourself a second to rotate out of the line of sight of that amp matrix. But somehow Gala is found. He was trying to play an off angle and KSA sniffed it out. 5v4. KSA want to take this fight quick. The teleporter to find these isolated targets. Spain can't afford to lose anymore. The bomb to Punk is thrown down and Hell throws down the spear. The Terra Surge finds UB. KSA don't want to be close to this Alyssa. But Spain have run out of juice and out of health. And Punk can't even leave.
كاس العالم مضيع طلقات.
خلاص
كارل قفل لي فوق.
Headshot after headshot. And KSA are just ending this. They are about to catch
نايس.
That's going to be an overtime.
توصلها بالما بنجاز الحالة صدقوني. الو في مشجعين. حي الله. أول أجنبي يحبنا. حافظوا عليه يا جماعة حضنوه. حولوا له فلوس. يوبي عطوا تكفى مني أنا حول لك. ما عندنا إلا ذا.
The KSA players are no slouches, no strangers to the stage. It's a lot of LAN tournaments in their region. They know that they are at the top. They are the best players from their region, and they want to prove to the rest of the world that.
أنا شوف نقسم مع الجائزة والله. بدل ما نقسمها على 6 لاعبين نقسمها على 7. نحطها معنا. تكفى يا شيخ. أعطوا نسبة. ما عندنا أجانب يا جماعة كلهم يكرهونا بسبب الملونين. شكله أول أجنبي يكره الملونين. اول مره
That was like the group of
سجل تاريخ.
that came down to like the Overwatch World Cup groups. They played against Japan, United States, and France. And those are teams that you almost expect to always make it out of the group stage. So KSA definitely trying to show everybody what they're made of, and you know, they do that in contenders as well as right now on the Overwatch World Cup stage, but Spain is making it very difficult. They were able to bring out the Orisa on the defense, the attack. That same strategy is not going to work out the way that you might want it to. That's why we're seeing yet another change up here. It's a dive composition coming out here from Spain. This is not something that I had on my bingo card, especially a wrecking ball.
Oh, they have broken the glass.
بعيدا عن ان اسبانيا ضدنا، بعيدا عن اسبانيا ضدنا، احب الاتيام اللي يدورون حلول. يعني اول شيء جربوا الراين ما نفع، اوريسا الحين بول، الاتيام اللي كذا رهيبين. لكن بريطانيا يلعبون اوريسا ضد كل الاقيام، هذا لا تسبهم. 3-0 الحين يلعبون اوريسا، كذا يدورون حلول.
Bones has been marked against the Sigma. It's difficult to pull off, and eventually these duels go in the way of KSA.
I really appreciate what Spain is trying to do here. They recognize that KSA is way stronger
منورين العراقيين. يا بعد كلبي يا يوسف حبيبي نور، احلى من يشجعنا.
You can see how they actually even switched off of the wrecking ball there, losing the mobility to be able to push KSA back in favor of a hero that is a little bit better in terms of that team dive coordination.
Calvo, he's taking so much damage, but Gala and Canelo, especially on this Ana, all of your attention goes to that Winston, and
راح منكي خلاص مدحناه قام يغير كل شيء. نمزح يا هلب.
Fallen back to the secondary position all the way at the end of the point. Now this is all about poke. Where Quartz has to stand tall. Spain jump in. It's the nano on to help, but Bones wasn't able to follow up. This Sigma of KSA is shutting down Spain every time they get close. The accretion, the shields, the chemistry that KSA have is just too strong.
صفق الكيسي.
feels so strong on this point because you do have the ability to jump onto a target, but that's Symmetra. Makes things so much more difficult to execute when you know that a teleporter could get placed down to help get one of your teammates out of dodge. And KSA too, like just bringing up the rear to help try to get rid of that extra dive pressure. Really did dismantle this push that Spain wanted to go for. Even with the nano onto the Winston, at least you got the primal rage online now to help with that disruption, but oh no.
والله يا انه اشغله، والله اشغله كيسي، حرام عليك يا اخي، ترى انسان عنده حقوق، اهنته يا ساتر. 4 مرات شيله، احترمه شوي، عذبه تعذيب، خليه يعيش يا رجال، على الاقل يهيل. ترى حقوق فيها دق، فيها كذا دق لبعض الناس، ها بين قوسين الوان. دعس عليهم يا شيخ، ادعس.
Can maybe take this duel against the Symmetra. It's tough, and here's the ultimates from Spain. The Kitsune rush was placed, and I don't really know what happened after that.
يا جماعة الخير روقوا عليهم. ايش فيكم؟
40 seconds remaining too, so Spain, they're making last minute adjustments here. Against 3 ultimates that KSA have, this is Spain's final shot, and it's gonna be reverting back to the composition that worked for them on the defense. The May and the Bastion helped to be able to crush the shield of the Sigma to give some time for Spain to be able to get into this, but it's down to the wire here. Lemon Kiwi, 15 seconds left.
في الهولد يا رب، الهولد يا رب، الهولد يا رب، الهولد يخوف المنتخبات ترى. يا عمري عط غلا عطيها. الهولد والله سنين ناس خلاص دعس عليهم، دعس حتى الصين. عمري الهولد والله المنتخب اللي يصير في الهولد انه قوي مره، ترى مو بسهل. مع بكره النهائي ترى، ها بكره نصف النهائي والنهائي. ايه الهدوء، اذا انت فزت انت بس اخسر راوند، ما بخسر راوند يا رجال، اخسر فايت بس، ما بخسر فايت حتى، خل كوارد يموت بس الحاله. هو شوف الصريخ اللي يجي. شيخ انا اقول نكسر عنهم ونفوز ببطولاتهم ونكوت امها. لا امزح والله، نقعد على قلوبهم والله نقعد على قلوبهم لما يخضعون غصب. الاشكال ذي يخليهم يخضعون. يا جماعه اذكر الله على المستوى الجميل. يب بكره نصف النهائي وبعد النهائي وبعد تحديد المركز الثالث. ثلاث اشياء يا جماعه. انا اوعدكم بكره حيكون امتع يوم. انتم مستوعبين بكره وش فيه؟ بكره الصين ضد كوريا والسعوديه ضد فنلندا. يا ساتر يا الله شيخ نورين. البث يبدا 7:30، ما ادري متى قامنا بالضبط. بنزل جدول بالانستغرام ان شاء الله بكره لو فزنا مثلا بسرعه ضد فنلندا ومعانينا اوكي راح نقابل على طول النهائي كوريا والصين. حرب عالميه ذي لحالها، حرب عالميه حرفيا. بيتهاوشون بيطولون، بيجونا واحد منهم تعبان ان شاء الله، سواء كوريا او الصين ما راح يفوزون بسهوله.
that front line with the wrecking ball, just troping to give enough disruption to KSA and that Sigma shield to be able to get those picks through.
And he separates UB, and somehow there just wasn't someone there like Crazy Dragon to take the shot. Punk to blink in. Still a lot of disruption from Helv, who takes the helm there for Spain. And while if KSA are so organized and have so much chemistry, Spain want to rip them apart and cause that disorganization, to cause that chaos. And it's good slams by Helv, and KSA don't like that pressure. They teleport out, but Canale lands a really good anti-grenade that once again Spain are a little bit slow at following up on.
KSA still have control of this flashpoint though, and so Spain have to go back to the drawing board a little bit, but they're split up across the map. You had Helv that had to go back to spawn to be able to heal up. Crazy Dragon just got picked off, and Punk is still in the back of this middle point, trying to help keep this push alive. But KSA, they're reaching that 50% mark now and counting on this first flashpoint before we see what Spain can do next.
Helv's job is to set up his team for success. Even though he's just the most well-known, most talented player on Spain, it's about them winning as a team. It's about Helv knocking down players, but it's UB and the rest of KSA. Expect the unexpected. They teleport onto vulnerable members of Spain when they least know it. And well, KSA do an amazing job of not letting Helv get into position while Helv is going back for health packs when he's low. That's when KSA
الجيم هذا بيخلص ستوري انستغرام اوكي ملخص.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick take here for KSA. They're going to use that Symmetric Teleporter to try to rotate to this next flashpoint as quickly as they can. And we're going to see Spain get a little bit split up here too. Punk, though, kind of on his own, trying to reach that objective with that Pulse Bomb available. They're heading over here to where KSA
يحسب نفسه درث.
Spain to the punch.
ايش رايك بالدبه يا درث؟
Yeah, Punk has the land his Pulse Bomb right as the pile drive happens from Helv, but the immortality beautifully placed by Sturmished. The timing is impeccable. You got the mines from Helv to secure some of the real estate. Haku almost Ajax, all thanks to Helv, but he manages to get it off. And KSA rally together. Helv is good at separating them, but he didn't have enough speed to get back. And KSA will just bunker down on this point too.
What is so difficult is dislodging Quartz from this position. Gala is doing such a good job.
جماعة ترقبوا تغريدتي ها. أجل واحد حاط 3-0 ها. في واحد مشر بيده ها. ترقبوا تغريدتي بعد الجيم. أنا عندي سوشيال ميديا ما عليكم يا جماعة. بس بدعوا في الملعب. العيال سوشيال ميديا عندي.
He didn't have the nade either. That is a late stacker in Spain. Don't have a great secondary healer. The Lucio is giving them speed to rotate into position.
الله بيخلص بسرعة الجيم مرة. 3 دقائق 4 دقائق الجيم. ترى باعوا القضية. والله باعوها واضح من اليوم. ترى خلاص ما فقد الأمل. فقد الأمل من القوة. الله ياخذك يا ريان. اعتقني. ساتر.
And this point in particular is so difficult to assail for Spain, especially against a Bastion, because there's not too many routes of entry here. Quartz can just lock it down, and even with this artillery strike too, keep Spain at bay long enough that KSA just capture this flashpoint.
This is a scouting artillery strike. We're just looking at the entire map. Quartz gets slept.
بشيلها الدم عليك.
And Gala's sound barrier helps push Spain towards the point. It's 99% though. We'll be round points, and what a flush from KSA. Gala is gone, and so are the rest of Spain. Point 2 goes to KSA.
بشيلها بس دقيقة.
KSA are now one flashpoint away from being able to take this map and this match. Head up to the semi-finals. But we're going down to Palace. Spain get a chance to get to that flashpoint first.
شلتها.
Set up. Gala's actually
طول عمري ما راح
making
اقرا
the
الدي ام
switch.
حقكم.
It's not going to be the Lucio
عشان
anymore. It's going to be
المبزرة.
the Brig to have more of these brawls, which is going to be very helpful against a tank
لا
like
ما شلت.
KSA on the Sigma.
And Gala can also
حاولت قالوا تمشي عليكم لعب القهر يا شيخ. ما مش يا جماعة ليش ترسلون؟ تعالوا المبزرة.
And now KSA no, Punk is behind. They're gonna try and relocate.
بندهم والله بندهم الشات.
Helv is marking them, trying to keep them anchored in place. KSA has captured the point, and the rest of KSA can just use the amplification matrix. But as the mines came down from Helv, what a call from Yubi to teleport them out. KSA are unaffected by Spain.
And that bought them enough time.
والله يا جماعة قاعد يتكتكون عليهم مرة قاعد يتكتكون عليهم.
Approaching the end of the road, the goal that they have set out for themselves. Spain, they have this nano boost, which is going to be one of their last chances to get into this game. You can give that over to Helv, who's going to be switching off of the Wrecking Ball to the Orisa, and hopefully
والله بندهم ما سهل والله. اللي مسوي سب ومسوي سب.
Actually put some presence on this point.
He was really depending on those mines, but now that KSA have an escape plan, he wants to have something more impactful. If KSA are going to stay grouped up, Helv's Terra Surge could be true. And so is this Nano. Helv bulldozes his way in, and Sermajet almost gets caught.
خلاص راحت.
He only knows the W.
قلت لكم ستوري.
And KSA only know how to kill. Spain raised the bar.
بنزل تريده من الحين. واثق بتيمي. نزلتها.
Spain will not be here to touch, and they will not be
شنو المجانين؟
able to come any longer.
يا عمري التيم ايه
To the semi-final.
ادعسوا.
It's a great showing from Spain, though.
تواضع.
A really good showing and a compose. They stayed composed.
They did.
Had different ideas, and look at everyone exchanging hugs, especially Helv. That tall one, that's Helv. He's known these players for a while, competed against.
بس انتم اهم شيء الموضوع بيدكم. لا حد يروح حساب الرسمي حق الفريق حقهم، اوكي؟ لا حد يروح الفريق الرسمي يا جماعة الخير، والله ما يحتاج. في اعلان، في قصدي مقابلة. خلينا نسمعها.
All right, guys, we're here now with Servajed. Give it up for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What a performance! You guys look dominant. You look so good. What's been working for you guys? Because it feels as if no matter what happens, you find a way, you have solutions, and it's clear in the results. 3-0 in groups and here.
I mean, we didn't drop like a single map like throughout the journey. I think like we're playing really good. We've been practicing for like a long time, and then hopefully we can like bring it home.
What makes this team
الله الشيخ الثاني والله منور.
into this one because I know they got a lot of players.
والله منور.
Contenders and whatnot.
شوفني يشجع.
What have you seen with your experience as, you know, a pro?
توقع مرة تبدع.
What have you seen from
أميري جايك لأمريكا يشجعك. والله
Like
تبدع.
talented players who like played in contenders, and like they didn't like play in OWL, so they played in contenders for like a long time, and they're like always on the same page. And then like I'm with them now, so hopefully we can win it together. Yeah.
Did it feel like sliding into a system that was near perfection for you when you joined the roster?
No, really. Like
والله دعم دعم عظيم
I feel like I
الجماعة.
completed the roster. I don't know, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
Hey man, well, the proof is in the pudding without a doubt. 3-0 in the groups, a dominant performance here on the main stage as well. Servajed, congratulations, man. Shout out to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They're going to the semi-finals. How incredible is that? Let's send it back over to the desk.
يا كيسي تكفى. ايش رايكم بالتغريدة يا جماعة؟ جاك اللي انت بيه. انت قايل 3-0